the capsules,
Yep.
they're not vegetarian.
No.
So how can we get around that?
Well, for what it's worth, we use kosher and halal gelatin, if that will help. But that comes from beef. It's a beef source. There's no way to get around that. You can puncture the capsule and put it in your mouth, or you can take the liquid, which has no gelatin in it. Okay.
But say for the treanin, again, just puncture
Gelatin
it in.
capsule. You can puncture it and squeeze it out, or you can consume liquivite, which is a liquid form with treanin in it. Okay.
There's no like chance of making them in the future.
Well, we continue to work. The problem with lipids and oils and things like this, maybe you've experienced with it, they tend to migrate. And if you've got a seal on a bottle or something, they'll migrate up through the seal. So if you don't fuse the two pieces of the capsule together, the oils will migrate out, which is why we can't use these non-animal, plant-sourced two-piece hard gels caps, because they leak. It doesn't work because they leak. So in that particular case, there's nothing that we can offer at this time. We have spent thousands and thousands of hours investigating this, trying to find out ways to get away from beef-sourced gelatin, simply for that issue, and haven't been able to. So you can always squeeze these things out if you're concerned about the capsule, or we have, in the case of treanin, we have liquivite, and in the case of salmon oil, we've got the new liquid omega-3s. And in the case of carotenoids, you'll find some of those in liquivite, plus you can always squeeze those things out. Okay?
Does the gelatin leak in the oil?
No.
It doesn't.
No, it's not soluble. Gelatin is not oil soluble, otherwise it would dissolve the capsule. Then it would be all over the inside of the bottle. Yeah. Now, as far as the vegetarians go, omega-3 fatty acids we sell come from fish. Okay. The advantage of fish source omega-3 fatty acids is it contains all 8 of the omega-3s that human nutrition needs. If you're a vegetarian or vegan and you don't want to consume fish or any other animal product, there are plant sources of the omega-3, the one omega-3 that's right down at the end, called stearidonic or alpha-linolenic acid. Okay. And they can find those sorts of sources. You can eat walnuts, for example, is a very good source of that. I hear that chia seed is a good source of omega-3s, but I can't get by thinking of it being a pet. I ate my little green puppy for breakfast. And so there are others. So what they should look for is they should go online and say plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, and you'll find those. But that's all I can recommend. Humans, by nature, have always sort of relied on things like fish and so on for sources of certain nutrients. Is there any chance that we're going to get a vegan or vegetarian, a non-dairy? Non-dairy. Well, yeah. Yes. There's a chance. This young lady at the back of the room here, who is your CEO, okay? Her heart is in the same place you are. She knows that would be something important to add to the product line. We have a lot of stuff in the product sequence, in the product development program. Certainly that's a topic that we've looked at very closely, and that there is a chance, yes. When that chance occurs, I cannot tell you, okay? Because she would be very mad at me if I started making promises. But I can tell you that Kendra feels the same way you do, that would be a good thing to have. It's difficult for us to just deliver proteins because we have such high standards. So when you're trying to do all 22 amino acids and have big amounts of branched chain amino acids and all of these things, it isn't always easy when you get out of the animal environment, the dairy environment in that particular case. Not that it's impossible, it's just not always easy. And then we have people who say, well, I don't like soy. Can you do it with rice? Or can you do it with almonds? Or, yeah. I mean, we could do everything, but sometimes meeting our own standards is more difficult than any of the rest of that. So there's a chance.